Howdy folks, Rifle Jerry here. This video is going to be about animal husbandry. What do you mean? What's animal husbandry? Well, I'll tell you what. I went to where everybody gets their information. I went to Wikipedia. Yeah, okay, I know there's going to be more scientific definitions out there, but just hear me out. This is what Wikipedia says. It's very simple and easy to understand. That's quite often why I go there to get, basic information. So, animal husbandry is, let me read this, the management and care of farm animals by humans for profit, in which genetic qualities and behavior considered to be advantageous to humans are further developed. The practice of selectively breeding and raising livestock to promote desirable traits in animals for utility, sport, pleasure, or research. So you're basically grooming your herds, you're grooming your flocks to produce the best. There are certain species out there that produce better than other species, and so you want to promote those, the practices and the management initiatives that help to bring those particular animals to the peak of their efficiency and production, so far as providing whatever it is that they provide. If it's chickens, then maybe you're trying to develop good husbandry practices to maximize egg production. And if it's cattle, maybe it's for beef and so on. So along with good husbandry practices come rigorous standards and responsibility, and ultimately it's to provide the best health and production for those animals. Now, why am I talking about animal husbandry? Well, I think that we're experiencing kind of a middle-class husbandry problem here in Canada. And I'm going to use that model because I believe that our middle class is lacking significantly so far as the husbandry of the middle class in Canada. Let's look at it this way. It's not a favorable environment for the middle class of Canada to be successful anymore. It is not. We do not have an environment in Canada where the middle class can possibly be expected to be successful. I'll tell you what I mean. First of all, let's look at our tax regime. Between federal, provincial, and municipal taxes, we're probably paying in the neighborhood of around 65% of our gross income goes to taxes. And I think that's probably a conservative number. Okay? And that's probably an arguable number, but let's just, for the sake of argument, say 65% of all the money you make goes to taxes. Now let's look at shelter. We all need to have shelter, whether you're renting or whether you've purchased a home and you have a mortgage and you're making payments and ultimately the bank owns it, but you're making progress and you're making huge interest payments and a lot of your income is going to that alone, but you have a roof over your head. And it's likely reasonable to say that 20% of your income simply goes to shelter. Okay? Then you have to include utilities, your power, your gas, maintenance, all these kind of things, the other responsibilities that come with owning a dwelling or even renting a dwelling. I mean, even though you're not necessarily paying for the maintenance yourself, it's embedded in your rent, right? So you're paying for those things. Then you got to think about, okay, insurance. And how about a car or a truck, right? You've got loan payments for those things too. How much of that of your income is gone? And you got to insure that stuff. And if you don't, I mean, when it comes to taxes, insurance, if you don't pay your taxes or your insurance, you either get fined heavily or you go to jail. It's not like these are optional things. Okay. So vehicles, gasoline prices are tremendous. Your food costs. Okay, the basic necessities for life. And we wonder why the middle class is shrinking. Why is it that fewer and fewer and fewer young couples are getting married? Why are there long-term males and females that have decided not to have families? Okay. The middle class husbandry in our country is not effective. Our middle class is shrinking, not expanding. Credit card debt is at an all-time high. People are graduating from secondary educational technical colleges or colleges and universities with massive debt that they're trying to get on top of, and they're only just starting out. Welcome to the middle class. How do you get ahead? So ultimately, after you've paid your bills, there's nothing left over. I mean, a holiday to Mexico? Oh, no, I'd love to go for a holiday to Mexico, but who can afford that? Not the middle class. How about planning for retirement? How are you managing to do that? Not many of us are. So, does animal husbandry apply to the middle class? Essentially, yeah, because somebody's making a lot of money off of us. Okay? And the environment to stay in the middle class is shrinking. I mean, we're shrinking as a segment of society. Populations in countries like Canada and the United States, when it comes to the middle class, are going down, not up. So they make up for it with immigration. We have a major project here. We want to build a dam or we want to build a mine. Well, we have to bring immigrant workers in order to make that happen, because our middle class is totally and completely taxed to the point of ineffectiveness. There is no flexibility. There is no fat left on the animal. So our system is broken. That's my argument, and I'm standing by that argument. I'm not saying that immigration is bad. What I'm saying is that Canada needs to foster an environment where the middle class can flourish. And that is not what we have right now. Something that needs to be fixed. And it scares me because I don't know what this means for the future of Canada and our cultural identity. It's Rifle Chair signing off. Thanks for your time, and as always, Maple Leaf up.